Hi guys, and welcome once again to Curated Logic, where we try and up your brain game. If you have watched any of the previous reviews done on this channel, you will have noticed that the reviews are pretty typical. They cover all the points a normal review would cover, from aesthetics, to gameplay, to story if it's applicable. And I was having a think the other day, and I realised that the entire reason for creating these reviews, which is to point you in the direction of games that will best up your brain game, was getting a bit lost. So, as of today, I have decided to focus any reviews done on Curated Logic primarily on the logic, because that makes sense. I will start each review touching briefly on the general aspects of the game before jumping into how the puzzles and the brain testing element of the game fares, and this is what will take up the majority of the review. So, in honor of this new approach to our reviews, today I am going to be looking at an app that came out all the way back in 2012 when I was but a twinkle in my mother's eye, and has consistently been touted as the beginning of one of the best puzzle app series available. If you know puzzle games, you probably won't be surprised to know that I am talking about The Room. Although there are a number of sequels to The Room, I am going to be concentrating today on its first incarnation, delving into the follow-ups, each at a later date. So, let us begin. The Room is a good overall game. The storyline is a little mad scientist-esque, as you play through 4 puzzle boxes that slowly unravel the workings of an unknown figure only known by the initials AS. AS has been working on the mysterious and powerful null element. I personally found the storyline a little too abstract to really add to the game, and I personally skimmed over the letters that AS left. But the aesthetics and music play into the creepiness the story is meant to create by being suitably dark and mysterious. The imagery also has enough intricate detail to transport you securely into the world of the game, meaning what's missing from the story is not necessarily noticeable. There is a good little tutorial at the beginning to teach you how to play, and the functionality of the game generally works well. There were a couple of times where the using of an object wasn't working as it should straight away, or the illustration made it unclear exactly what you were looking at, and 2 of the videos in the games did not work for me, but on the whole, surprisingly, this did not cause a real issue. At points I was taking some time to solve a puzzle, hints were offered, but I felt that often this was happening too fast, and it felt a little bit like you were being treated as if you were thick. But overall, the general elements of The Room were very good. Thinking on the logic of The Room is interesting. After I finished the game, I left feeling pleased. I had enjoyed playing, and it gave me a good overall sense of appreciation. However, I also walked away with a niggling feeling buried beneath that appreciation of dissatisfaction. So, I thought about each of the elements of the game individually. What I realised was that the way the aesthetics and music pulled me into the game was what gave me appreciation for the game, but it was the logic and the puzzles themselves that gave me the dissatisfaction. This started right from the first proper puzzle. A cute little riddle is given as part of the tutorial. You have a chance to think of the answer yourself, but as soon as you zoom in on the area you need to be in order to solve the riddle, it gives you the answer, before you have actually done what you need to do. Whilst I understand that this was part of the tutorial, I didn't need to have the answer spelled out so plainly. It was more off-putting than helpful. It lacked any need for logical thinking, and it was this concept that, unfortunately, became the core of the game. From this point forward, unless you use the hints, Puzzles were not spelled out for you the way they were in the tutorial, but this didn't make the actual puzzle element any harder. The difficulty, and seemingly almost all of the logic in the game, came from actually trying to find the objects and answers you need, rather than figuring out solutions to the puzzles and the problems. That might sound like a really minor difference, but in the grand scheme of things, the difference is actually quite large. This is because once you have found the object you needed, the remaining puzzle was almost always incredibly simple, or the object gave you the answer straight away. Now, I am not opposed to a search and find element to a game, but too much of this is not enjoyable, as often it requires a little bit of luck or being in the right place at the right time. And when you finally find something you have been looking for amongst many other hunted objects, it doesn't often give you a sense of satisfaction, more a sense of frustration that this is such a large part of your challenge. Still, this is not to say that all of the puzzles were not enjoyable, and there were not times that real logic had to be used, but on the whole, I did not feel at any point that the game activated my whole brain, as is what I always look for a game and its logic to do. So, in the end, if you are okay with not a massively testing game re the puzzles, but like to be absorbed into a new world as I do, you will enjoy this game. But if you play purely for the challenge, I would probably give this one a miss. I give The Room a 7 out of 10 overall, with a logic rating of 2.5 out of 5 stars. If you have played The Room and have an opinion on it, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think. And if you want to continue upping your brain game, you can follow Curated Logic on any of our socials, all of which are listed below, or you can support us on Patreon, which is also listed below. I hope wherever you are in the world you are keeping safe and happy. Until next time, keep upping your brain game and have fun. See ya.